Hey, how's it going everyone? It is Drago. We're back with another episode of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, episode 14. And this episode covers chapters 46 through 50 of the Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest manga. This episode very heavily focuses on the fight between Wendy and Nebble. Just the beginning of this fight with her going into Dragon Force, using her regular attacks. I think Dragon Force kind of looks maybe not as vibrant as it did. I don't know if that's just me, but I don't think it looked nearly as good as it once had. Honestly, I was thinking that this fight honestly wasn't the greatest up until you get the whole Irene stuff. I did like the scene with her kind of crying and whatnot and thinking about all of her friends and stuff. That was really nice. I wasn't in love with the beginning of this fight, but there is things throughout this fight that I do really like, and obviously the introduction of 5th gen Dragon Force and also stuff that Wendy does later. Honestly, I liked how they showed 5th gen Dragon Force. It looks pretty cool, and kind of the little graphics that they did to show him going into that form. I mean, it wasn't amazingly detailed, but it's pretty cool still to get kind of graphics for it. And I do think they did a pretty decent job of showing how animalistic it makes you in that form, but I do feel like it's almost lacking the impact or damage to show how damaging this form is. And Lucy is now no longer the only one with a magical girl transformation sequence, because now Wendy also has that with her Irene form. Honestly, did not expect Wendy to get a magical girl sequence for herself. It is pretty cool to see her go into that form. Honestly, after she went into the Irene form, I really liked the fight then. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I did when I initially read it. Yeah, and genuinely after that point, I really did like the fight then. Mainly just because Wendy then becomes a massive powerhouse because she's able to use Irene's power, and she blows them away then. And that's obviously where you get her knowing to use separation enchantment on the white mage and separate the two entities. Overall, I think Wendy's fight against Nebel, I wasn't vibing with it for the past few episodes, and honestly I just always kind of thought that fight was more boring to me, but honestly this Irene thing kind of flipped it around for me and just honestly made it a pretty enjoyable fight then. Most of this episode does focus on them fighting, but there's a few times you cut away, and I kind of want to cover a few of those. I love that Plu gets to be useful still and using his nose to go find other members right now and put them in cards, and I just like the graphics of Lucy and Plu being all excited that Plu could be useful. That is so insanely cute. Also, I love Happy having his whole dilemma over what cat he should go rescue, whether he should go rescue Carla or Toka, and no one else knows the turmoil that Happy is in right now, and who should he go after. Those scenes were really cute and I found them very enjoyable. Pretty big part of this episode is we got a brand new opening and ending. I think I like the opening song a lot more than the ending one, just because that one is at least more cheery and the ending song is kind of depressing. So talking about the opening first, this opening definitely does have a few callbacks, because the beginning opens with them showing their guild marks on different parts of their body. Honestly, that is very reminiscent of, I thought it was opening 18, to where they also did that and they had the glowing of their guild marks. Honestly, even a little bit of the first 100 Year Quest opening is kind of reminisced in here, with them kind of on a ledge looking out, and they're kind of doing profile shots kind of similar to the first opening. I really love how they do the little split screen panel showing half of everyone's face in different colors. There's been a few manga panels with that, and I freaking love it anytime they do that. And honestly, some of this is very comic-y styles, because you get the little bubble dot design and you get different characters throughout that, and it's kind of almost comic-esque. And this opening in particular really does meld two arcs into one. Obviously you have our current arc and then the next arc that we're about to go into, and they're both blended together in this opening. And obviously if you didn't know that, you're oh man, there's a lot of stuff going on here and a bunch of characters we haven't even met yet. Yeah, that's why. I do like that so far both the openings that we've had for 100 Year Quest have it ending with the whole team going against a dragon. those are pretty cool, and honestly they're more cinematic-y to see those shots, so pretty cool that we've got that in 2 openings in a row. I wonder if that will continue onward or not. And then the ending for this episode is mainly focused around the next arc, but I do really like the graphics of it with them all defeated, and like you have the ripped up fairy tale flag behind them and then them all getting up, especially the very end shot of this ending to where they are all huddled together. Like, I freaking love that frame. It's super cool. But the song that goes with this is like super depressing, I feel. Like, for this vibe, it just is kind of a downer. But generally, I love the graphics of both openings and endings that we've gotten. Maybe not so much music choices that I personally love, but I still respect it. So what are your guys' thoughts on this episode? Leave it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and this is Draco signing out.